Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks for the best presentations in the university summative exams in the dentistry course. Today's sessions will be structure of an answer for the best exam answers. Disclaimers: answer is always the king. The correct answer is always the king. And whatever you do is not a substitute for a good answer. How to answer? The structure of answer. For long answers, add a content or an index as we call, which prescribes what are you going to write or forms the narrative. It ensures that the examiner knows your and understands your capabilities, helps to clarify the thoughts process of the candidate, ensures that the candidate is on the correct track, and it also helps you to organize your answers in a more better and a structured way such that it impresses the examiners. It also indirectly or subconsciously encourages the examiners to award more marks than the otherwise. It also helps the candidates to keep on track and such that he can answer later and elaborate if times and space permits. And for this, use proper headings and subheadings. And it is advised to use two color sketch or pencils to clearly differentiate the headings and the paragraphs. And this color combination should be in such a way that your university or college permits. And always avoid active voice in your answers. It looks like a challenge, but if you work it out and make it a habit, it makes a point. For example, it is inappropriate when I say, when I add acid to the base, salt is formed. The better would be, when acid is mixed with the base, then salt is formed. Or simply, as I would prefer, acid plus base gives salt. That is the most simplest way and time-saving way when you are writing an exam. And always, picture gives a superior effect. Rather than pages of writing, simple flowcharts or analogies or iconic diagrams will help you to convey the matter in a more effective way than tons of lines. And that is what we call it as the drawing effect. And an effective planned drawing will give you the better marks than a few tens of lines. It helps you to save time, last longer, and help you to communicate better to the examiner. How to answer for the diagrams? It enables a rapid assessment of the content and level of learning to the examiners. That says your mastery of the subject. For this purpose, use a sharp pencil, or if you are extraordinarily confident, use a felt tip pen. If not, never do it. Ensure that the diagrams are neatly drawn and appropriately labeled. The visual or diagram is always to be accompanied by an explanatory text. And if the diagram you are planning is slightly smaller as compared to the page size, use it slightly not in the middle, but slightly to the right side, because human eye is trying to look right rather than in the center on the left. And always avoid drawing with a ballpoint pen, especially the color that you write the exam with, blue or black. And when you have your own reservations or doubt, never do it. And the creative approaches to answers will evoke a multi-sensory response in the examiner rather than from a single reading sensation that is visual. The creative solutions evoke a verbal, thinking, tangible, a personal feel, like as though you are sitting and explaining. More than drawing, this approach will help the color combinations. There is no rule, but essentially preparation does matter. That is what is all about. So you have to have a mental idea or picture of what your diagrams are going to be, and it has to be sufficiently practiced. So long-term preparation is needed. And this kind of no margins or a justification will decrease the comprehension to the examiners. whereas a fixed, uniformly appearing paper will increase the comprehension. More line breaks and smaller line lengths will make the examiner to go at a slower pace. The slower the reading, more the mistakes will be appealing to the examiners. So ensure that you have a line longer break with fewer line breaks so that it is faster to read. When the examiner reads it faster, he comprehends it faster. So if at all there are mistakes, there is a chance, that element of chance, that the examiner will overlook it. Special data like dates, numbers, keywords, underline them in your answers, especially inside the diagrams or the parts, and ensure that it stands out from the rest of the text, visibility. And that will help you to make a positive digital impression and convince the evaluator subconsciously to have a better image of you. And that also will make your answer sheet very unique among the probably tens and 50s of answer sheet they are correcting per day. For short and sweet comparisons, better to use tables. If you are using a table comparison of two, for example, cellular symptom versus a similar symptom, ensure that you put an additional first column on the basis of which you are differentiating. For example, location, apical third, cervical two-third, what types of cell, what types of fibers. Mention that. That is more effective than a single two-columnar comparison. Classifications are best given in the form of flowcharts or organizational charts, hierarchy charts. That will be the most effective way of communicating your classification rather than writing in lines in pages. For clinical features, such Venn diagrams or approachables will be much more effective. That is faster, need not write in lines, but creates a picture effect. Cycles, such as in your biochemistry, pathology, physiology, the cycles will be more effective than series of lines or words. Mechanism, stepwise approach will help you to explain more better. This is more suitable for mechanisms and etiopathogenesis. Signposting is a procedure by which you train your examiner subconsciously. So for this, you need to follow a consistent posting system. You break your answer into distinct sections and identifying them using appropriate labels like colors or underlining. And for this, you have to maintain consistency throughout your paper. And the better thing will be an ideal universal color choice. And you have to be sure that you do not create. This comes with years of practice. For example, answer number, one color, introductory statement in particular line, then point A, main point, one font or one color, point 2 in a different slightly tilting point or underlining colors, then point B, again underlining. The legends or types or font that I say here could be lines, colors, or different pen, for example, blue or black if you are writing in a otherwise number, otherwise pen, and underlining, whatever it could be. And these are called as signposting. This will subconsciously, after 2 or 3 answers, will enable the evaluator. This person is making a point. This person is making a subheading. That will be an added advantage. And in case you want to strike an answers, do it in the most professional way. The proper way of striking an answer is, because mistakes do happen and you realize it. That is a good thing. But don't highlight your mistakes by striking it multiple times. Instead, strike it with a firm single line in a crosswise manner and make it less messy as much as possible. Use a pencil. And the random points that you need to be considered is, don't split answers. Try maximum to keep all the answers for a question to be together. Always write neatly and to an extent legibly. Review all answers so that you answer unanswered questions and correct any mistakes. And follow the pattern prescribed. Number all the answers correctly. Divide the answers using a ruler and pencils. Avoid mistakes in at least 4 pages. Be confident enough. The confidence that the paper oozes creates a positive impression on the examiner's mind. Most importantly, avoid abbreviations. For example, RBCs, WBCs. As a student, try to avoid abbreviations. And never use a ballpoint to create a negative impression at the backside thing, because your answer sheets are going to be scanned and that is going to hinder the visibility. So ensure this kind of sharp tips, especially with flow gels or the traditional ballpoint ones, that can create an impression on the reverse side. So that has to be taken care, and your answer sheet has to be professionally done. Because we as evaluators often look around to find interesting or to find answers so that we give you more marks, not to penalize you. So keep following our channel for more effective tips for effective presentation in university summative exams. Have a good day and have good reading.